rad psi. Now, the word radical, it seems as a negative connotation because being politicized nowadays, it came with like conspiracy too. It was just a regular word. It wasn't good or bad. But after the JFK, the FBI made the word conspiracy popularized as a bad thing. And it's the same with the word radical. Radical is, it seems like, oh, you don't want to be a radical, but it's a Latin word. It means at the core or at the root. So the word rad, I used like in the 90s. The word sick, I used the word sick. And it's these things with like sirens, they're always going off. It's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. It's just that like whenever there's always like this engagement of these sirens. And then there's of course this church across the street, and its bells go off every like 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm not like making this up. Maybe it's because we're in Lent or Pentecost, and then the tornado sirens, they sound like once a month, and there's these state of emergencies, and it emboldens criminals. So you can politicize what an actual origin is all day long. But to disenfranchise someone for what's a Declaration of Independence clause by law through algorithms. I mean, I'm on top of the world now. I've gotten like 8 views. I came from 0 views on a regular basis. So, it's better than it ever has been. But the algorithms, again, it's in like the separate accord. And when we're talking in accords, we're going to the stars. The Beastie Boys said intergalactic planetary at square one with what comes after there. But the regulations as of now is not sound, and that's no pun intended. The Declaration of Independence was the flower of the Renaissance. And then the bulldozing a building because it has black mold in it is something that is what would be considered a cross between the Stone Ages and the Dark Ages. So it's not, we can't like do this crisscross applesauce. And so what would be something better is the makeup of what shifting gears actually is. Crossing mechanical and binary. On your marks, get set. Where the left, the Democrats, they need to be gone as if the Whig Party of the past. They're up there hoping you laugh at them. I've learned not to laugh at an accent. I never will again. But it's, you do that and they want to say that you're laughing at the skin color of ethnicity. You're making fun of them when it was an indirect laugh at an accent. But when they don't have anything else to focus on, it's gossip for brownie points. But to the scales of jailing the people who've rented out a lot to have a rally, and is why I'm never going to a rally again, never going to another funeral again. It's two like better things to do, and on that is like this whole, they're up there on TV stuttering as if they have an impediment, like a disability. They want to play a victim card. But then it's other people like me, and then a handful of others who are just online speaking in tongues, not even trying to make reasonings and having profound like uh, things happen by accident that are good. So in sales, it's like down to brass tacks, even down to like what a product is, the makeup of it, the acids in it. And if you don't know, acids are big, like in lipid, your lipids. They have like this acidic thing, amino acids, and so just the divides of these things are huge. But if you know this with going in at a consumer is price points and price discovery, these reflections in human nature is bigger than if something isn't on a shelf. And so like, yeah, I'll just make like this shop inside a city and have it be inside of all the cities. It's like a fire pole inside these mansions, a fire pole, and you go down through it to save time. I'd put like this amusement park like seat inside of a building and you go down through it to save time. Because the more that you like start looking at what cosmic is with this cosmic landscaping, when it comes to ice skating or cosmic bowling, and then you start engaging what theme park rides are, there's one way at tackling state-of-the-art equipment that's used to just pontificate over, generalizing what fabrication is. You get a sheet metal and you put it through a roller. Numbers with that, numbers. So, a windbreaker, you can use like in the Beastie Boys, they said I put a sock over the microphone. This is, if you ever seen in studios, they put like a screen in front of a microphone and it eliminates the words that when you say P, it makes like a pop noise on a recording. But with recordings, when you use like a styrofoam thing over a microphone, it I guess avoids wind. If you're talking to the microphone and you breathe heavy, there's like this tracking of wind that allocates into it. And it's funny, in Juice World, he said like you want to hear the breaths in between lines. And Michael Jackson too, he's got a lot of or rest in peace to both of them, had these like tracks where they inferenced the sound of the breathing in it, and it can be done like pleasantly, or it can not be. I've heard like a track, it was like a 90s alternative band, and I heard a breath in it and it was just way over enhanced, and so it came across as talent enhancement. And so there's like a way in studio to eliminate these things, and then there's a way in studio to stylize them, and there's a way in the studio that over stylizes them. And of course, it being done where the artist thinks it's good and it isn't was the case. No, but the mitigating factor with what I'm explaining is I'm using my hat to cover over the recording microphones on my cell phone so that the wind isn't whipping. So the yarn crochets are breaking up the wind, instead of like you see on these boomstick men. They've got like these fur kind of like it'd be like a microphone styrofoam head. If you've never slipped it over one, it's just like the cast mold of the head of the microphone. You slip it over it. There's different slip overs, and some of them are furry, and this is what is used to break up sound getting hit with the wind on the edges of the cutouts of the speakers. And so I'm calling it what it is. When it comes to Austin, Texas, there's this radio DJ there, and he's like, Austin's lost. There's feces and needles everywhere. I saw like this live stream in Austin last night, and sure enough, there's human feces on the ground in the mix of things. And I'm saying this is because you got to call it what it is. Now, it's like a giant bird cage if there's crap on the ground and there's all these people inside like a common square. And so I'm not down with that. I wanted to like not walk around and be like generalizing everything in a thesaurus. And so there's that aspect, but then there's the aspect where if I wanted to like invent something, and you're gonna do it, if you like start inventing a store that has all these inventions in it, it actually becomes a lot more sensible than making one thing. I was in Milwaukee, and they had like this museum, and they had like 30 to 40 different types of gears, and they're so intricate that you would be like, whoa, what's this for? What's this for? If I had a store inside of a city, it would be called